Hello dear friends and welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time, my name is Paulina and here on my channel it is all about fragrances. I love fragrances, I love smelling them, trying them on, and I love talking about fragrances. And in today's video I'm going to share with you my first impressions about new launches of 2021. I'm going to talk about some niche brands and about some designer brands. I don't have the actual bottles because it was a quick shopping today, so I wanted to share with you my first impressions. And I would like to start with a fragrance that actually completely impressed me, but in a negative way, I have to tell you. It's the fragrance from the house Byredo, Open Sky. Very special fragrance, very special notes. I'm going to read you the notes that are listed here. The top notes are pomelo, black pepper, the middle notes cannabis and base, vetiver and Palo Santo. Palo Santo is a special type of wood. So, this fragrance is noted as unisex, but I can't really imagine a woman wearing this. This is absolutely masculine direction for me, and it has some oily, some eatable note here for me. Something oily, citrusy that tries to go in a citrusy direction. I suppose that this is the cannabis note here. I never smelled cannabis, I never smoked cannabis, so I don't really know how this plant smells, but I assume this is this one. Something edible, something oily. This fragrance leaves some oily impression on me. I don't know why they named this fragrance Open Sky. I expected a completely different fragrance with this name. Open Sky, it should be something airy. And it goes in this edible direction, and it's not only foody or some food, but it's food that actually not edible anymore. It's bad. A very strange fragrance. You have to try it on your skin, but for my taste it was just absolutely a nightmare, an absolute disaster. And it was quite long lasting, and the projection was so amazing. I put it on this tissue and then put it in my notebook. My whole notebook smells now of Open Sky Byredo. This is terrible. Another fragrance that I tried was Autumn Vibes from Maison Margiela from the line Replica. The top notes are cardamom, pink pepper. The middle notes are carrot seeds, nutmeg, and the base cedar and moss. Also listed as unisex fragrance, but I can't imagine a woman wearing this. For me, Autumn Vibes goes in a similar direction like a jazz club and By the Fireplace. There are different fragrances, but the direction is very similar. It is about autumn mood. It's like it has some woody notes. It's like walking in some park or in some forest in the autumn, smelling the wood or smelling the leaves around. Very natural kind of feeling. It has some moist undertone in it, like moist wood or something moist leaves that are on the ground. I think this is a very meditative fragrance, a fragrance to look inside, for some solemn hours, for a very nice walk in the forest. I think this will be perfect for a male who loves to be like in this autumn meditative mood. I can imagine this fragrance on men that like nature and like walking in the parks. I quite enjoyed it, but I wouldn't buy it, I wouldn't wear it. So masculine direction. Another fragrance from the niche brand Memo Paris was Corfu. I tried it on and I have it on the paper. The notes listed here are very rich. There are so many notes listed here. I think all the citrusy fruits and a very interesting note of basil and blackcurrant leaf. So it tries to express this mood of being on the island Corfu. I've been there last year and I enjoy staying there. It was a very, very beautiful island. It is quite different from the mainland Greece and other Greek islands because it had some Italian influence and English influence, so it is not oriental. It has some special touch, this island. So this fragrance tries to give us this impression of this island. And this island is also famous for its kumquat. It's also a citrusy fruit. The note of kumquat isn't listed here, but the so many other citrusy notes and some fruity notes, they give this impression of this small citrusy fruit of kumquat, a little bit bitter with a little sweet undertone. You may think, well, what new you can say you can produce in a citrusy direction, but the house of Memo succeeded in this one because it is not only citrusy, it has some green touch in it, some green notes like basil or maybe blackcurrant leaves. So it is a very interesting fragrance. Unfortunately, very, very expensive. I would buy it. The longevity wasn't that great as well. Well, you can expect that in a way from a citrusy fragrance, but nonetheless, Corfu was a great success of 2021 by the house of Memo. Another fragrance that I also liked very much was White Magnolia by the niche brand Etro. The notes listed here in the top notes: cedar, bergamot, citrus fruits and amber. The hard notes are magnolia and hellebore. I don't know what flower it is, but maybe you know this. And the base, musk and woody notes. The nose behind this fragrance is Olivier Cresp, a very famous maître parfumeur. I like this one. It is so tender, it is so feminine and elegant. This is a spring and summer fragrance. Unfortunately, too late for this, but maybe next year. I was really impressed by this one. It has some airy texture. It is so. It is also an angelic fragrance. Very, very tender. These were niche fragrances that I tried today, and now I'm going to talk about some designer brands. And I'm going to start with the new Miss Dior by the house of Dior. The maître parfumeur behind this fragrance is François Demachy, in-house perfume maker of the house of Dior. The notes listed here, the top notes are iris, peony, lily of the valley. The middle notes, rose, apricot and peach. And the base, vanilla, tonka beans, musk, benzoin and sandalwood. I would say that every generation of women has to have their own Miss Dior. This is a legendary fragrance. It was released in the 40s and the original Miss Dior was a shipper, was quite different from this one. This fragrance was reformulated many times and now it's the new release. And I think it has to be reformulated because the generation of young women changes as well. So it has to go with them and represent what they like. So it is It is a carefree fragrance. It is a fragrance, a sunny fragrance. It is less strict, it is less official, formal. It has less peppery note here. It's not so pepper loaded as the previous ones. It is not a ship. It is a nice floral, sweet designer brand fragrance, typical for this time. Bit sweet, a little bit sweet. It goes in a sweet direction because of the vanilla. Vanilla is quite prominent here, along with the floral notes. And for me it goes in a makeup-y cosmetic direction. Some creamy texture. I actually quite like this, and I maybe consider buying this a bit later on some sales. But I wouldn't say anything negative about this. This is a very nice, floral, sweet fragrance. Probably not a legend anymore as it was in the 40s. So it was Miss Dior new release. Another release of 2021 and another flanker is Idôle Aura. The original Idôle is one of my favorite fragrances, and now the new release. The notes listed here are salt, rose, in the middle jasmine, and the base vanilla and musk. For me, this is also a very sunny, light, feminine fragrance, a fragrance for a very young lady, whereas Idôle, the original Idôle, is very elegant and more mature. This one has more carefree touch in it. Unfortunately, the longevity isn't quite promising here. I sprayed it on my hands really generously in the morning a couple of hours ago. I can't smell anything. So probably I won't buy this one, although I'm a huge lover of Idôle by Lancôme. Another fragrance that I tested today, also new release of 2021, was the Irresistible Givenchy by the house of Givenchy in the version of Eau de Toilette. The Eau de Parfum version was released in 2019, and now the Eau de Toilette. The notes were a bit different, they were changed, so instead of the peach, they slightly changed the notes of this fragrance. There is no pear listed in the Eau de Toilette version, and that's why this fragrance is a little bit less intensive. It's not so sweet, it's not so sensual, so it is a little bit lighter, a lighter version of the Irresistible Givenchy. But I would say they are quite similar. I didn't notice any difference in them, just a little bit lighter than the Eau de Parfum version. And the last fragrance that I would like to talk about is the flanker of La Belle by Jean-Paul Gaultier, Le Parfum Intense. So the notes listed here are pear, vanilla and tonka beans. And the opening here is just amazing. Ripe, dripping, aromatic pear. Amazing. With a prominent vanilla note and tonka beans. But as it dries down, the note of the tonka beans becomes more prominent, and the vanilla is so overwhelming here. It goes almost in the bitter direction of vanilla. It is foodie vanilla, so quite edible. It is a very thick and intense perfume. Well, it is intense version, La Parfum Intense, so it has to be like this, very gourmandy, like opulent fragrance. I loved this one because of its opening, because of this amazingly aromatic sweet pear, but this bitter touch of vanilla and like cloudy tonka beans. They are a little bit too much for my taste, but if you like gourmand fragrances, you will probably love this one. And the bottle is also amazing. It's very, very beautiful. Okay, these were the fragrances, the new releases of 2021 that I tested today. I hope it was interesting for you. If you tried them, please share with me your thoughts about them. Thank you very much for your attention and see you soon in the next video. Bye bye!